Not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Stafford going to put it up right away. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big game downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
All right, boys, here we go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 10 more there and another 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Play action. Stafford. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. A gain there of 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now this throw caught left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Going right back to Akers. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Akers. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll run for the first time with Trenton Cannon, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. Decision time, opening drive here. What would you do?
There is no decision for me. I'm the visitor. I'm on the road. I've moved the ball downfield. I've got momentum. I'm going for it right here. Look at that play sheet. Pick out your best play.
And even if you don't get it, then your defense is going to have a really good situation on the other side.
Exactly. And in fact, though, I'm not even telling my defense to get ready. I'm telling them to get ready to celebrate, because we're going to score.
After hitting the field goal, now Sloman handling the kickoff duties. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and the Rams are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point, because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Stafford hooking up with Akers. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11th. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Cannon going to try the left side. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Trenton Cannon with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. From the 6. And able to get this out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run again with Harris. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing Jones. And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Stafford on first down. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. They saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
On 2nd and inches, Stafford pass complete to Akers on the out route. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to get the football back at their own 17. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. Gets around him. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Jones throw complete there to Johnson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Well, the Steelers at 4-6 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jones. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. That's back-to-back drives that have looked pretty good. The offense was moving the ball, but in both cases, the defense comes up with a big INT to get off the field.
How about the layers of intrigue that continue to get added as we watch this game unfold?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Stafford. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Stay 50, stay 50. 59. Stay 20. You ready?
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking left sideline, it's complete. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. Now Austin. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time.
Oh, Jones has just thrown his third interception. Terrence Brooks with a pick. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Alex Highsmith making a nice play and getting the sack. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Middle. Hey, go here.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. Here's Austin. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, Jones. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Pretty good yards after the catch there on that crossing route. Is a crossing route good for a quarterback because the receiver's coming across his line of vision?
They love those kind of throws. And how many times have you seen any of what we call an in-breaking route? Quarterback really turns it loose, doesn't he? Has a lot more confidence because he can see the play right in front of him.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. Shoves him aside. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 63 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in. Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Daniel Jones with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try to make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Oh, he bowls over him. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Now a nice throw near right side. He hauls it in. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. A solid stiff arm. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Straight ahead, this is Cannon. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
on the handoff. This is Cannon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now third down and 6 to go. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. There he goes, right side. The 20, 10, 5, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball. And so let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
70! 10, 10! 0!
And with a play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. Throwing is Stafford. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there?
Akers hit. He coughs it up. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The fumble on first down now. Here's 2nd down.
32! 59! Omaha, ready to move! And middle.
Back to throw, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Stay 50! Hey, 50!
Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays. But you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get into the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
53, ready? Monday. Hey, 54.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Now Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Meanwhile, Jones throw into the hands of Pickens. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson. 47 yards. And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. It's an important touchdown right there, as now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jones.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down.
79. Track 60.
Looking to throw. Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. Boswell's kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw.
That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Big 20. Here we go.
Throwing again is Stafford. Complete. Jefferson the target. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Stafford on first down. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On second down, this is Harris. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. One side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks him right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
To throw again on second down. Stafford, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense on third down today, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Stafford. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they look to finish strong in this 4th quarter. And this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. 79 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
They'll run again with Harris. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at half